South African consumers owe 1.9 billion rands in consumer debt. So that's your store cards, your credit cards, and personal loans. In the first quarter of 2019, there was a personal loan delinquency rate of around 25%. That means 25% of the people that have personal loans just do not pay for whatever reason. They just do not pay. Recently, a couple of months ago, government released the debt relief bill where consumers that had debt under a certain level could have their debt wiped out completely. Now, here's a couple of dangers to that. Firstly, if you take this debt relief, no bank is ever going to touch you after that. Nobody is going to provide you. No legitimate institution is going to provide you with credit going forward. So when you need it the most, when it's time for home loans or even to take a loan for education, no bank is going to touch you. It also banks will also raise the lending criteria. They're not going to lend to just anybody. Well, they shouldn't be lending to just anybody. So the criteria for lending is going to rise. You're going to have to be earning more. They want to see more positive behavior on how you pay your debt. So I'm not a fan of the debt relief, but rather slowly and surely renegotiate with the banks to restructure your payments if times are tough. But today I'm going to give you two really convenient ways on how you can start clearing up your debt. So the first method is the debt avalanche or the debt stacking method, which focuses on paying off your high interest loans first. So here is just an example of how the debt stacking or the debt avalanche method would work. Firstly, you'd list all of the debt that you have from the highest interest rate to the lowest. Okay, so let's say your credit card is at around 20, your personal loan is at around 18, your car is around 14, your home loan is around 13. Okay, and these are list down the balances that you would owe on each of these debts and list down the minimum payments for each. So the debt stacking method basically is a strategy where you focus on paying your highest interest debt first. So in this case, it would be your credit card debt because we're sitting here with 20%. So to get started with this strategy, you would pay all of your minimum payments, but you'll pay a little extra here. Pay an extra 100 rand, an extra 50 rand here until this balance is paid off. So once your credit card balance is paid off, well, and all of the time, you would be continuing with your minimum payments on your other debt. So once this balance is paid off, you take your 500 rand minimum payment, you add it to your minimum payment of your next highest debt. So this would bring your monthly payment to 2,500 rand. And you pay down the 2,500 rand every month until this is paid off, while continuing to make minimum payments on these two. So once this is paid off, you tackle your next highest debt. So you would take this amount, add it to this amount, that will give you 6,500. So you start paying 6,500 here to start settling your car debt of 180,000 rand. Now, obviously, this is a long-term strategy. This is a lot of money, but it's a strategy that works because if you pay this off sooner, you're paying less interest and so on. And then once you pay off your vehicle debt, you take this amount of 6,500, add it to your home loan payment. That would give you 14,500 rands, and you start paying off your bond with 14,500 rand. So it takes a lot of discipline because instead of eliminating one bill and then re-spending and racking up more credit card debt, you take that same amount and you start servicing your next level of debt. This basically allows you to build momentum as well, because once you see this debt gone and you realize how much you save, the 20% of your 16,000, it's a lot of money that you'll be saving. So I like this method. It's a method that I use myself, but there is something more feasible that gives you some quick wins. So one of the beauties of this method is because you're paying off your high interest loans first, you're going to save a lot more money because you're paying off your high interest. So in the long term, you're saving a lot of money. So here is the debt snowball method. Now, the debt snowball doesn't really look at the rate of interest, but it more focuses on the debt amount that is owed. So with the debt snowball, you need to focus on paying the lowest balance first. So you'll continue to make your minimum payments as you've listed down, but you'll pay a little bit extra towards your personal loan because your personal loan would be the lowest amount. So once you pay off your personal loan, you take off this amount and you tackle your next largest amount, which is your credit card. So you take your personal loan amount, you add it to your credit card amount, and that gives you 1,800. So you start paying 1,800 to your credit card until you close your credit card balance. So once your credit card is paid, you take this 1,800, you tackle the next highest debt. That would be 7,800 for your vehicle until your vehicle is paid off. And then you take this amount, you add it to your home loan amount, and that would give you 11,800, and you pay 11,800 towards the bond. This is nice if you want to see some immediate results, because once you knock off the first debt amount, you feel a sense of achievement. Whereas if we go to your debt stacking method, we go to the highest interest amount, which is 16,000. This, depending, I mean, everybody's situation is different. Maybe sometimes the highest interest might be the biggest balance, so it might take off longer to pay, and frustration will build up. It definitely will build up. So if you are somebody that needs to see results immediately and you want those wins to keep you motivated, the debt snowball is a great method. But if you can be resilient and weather the storm and be focused and determined in getting rid of your debt, this is a great way, because you're really focusing on your high interest payments and you're saving a lot more with the debt stacking method.